The Legend of Zelda, amongst many things, is known for having an incredible array of music, and as I've said previously, a literal symphony of pieces. Probably the two most discussed vibes from the music of The Legend of Zelda would be its adventurous themes, the ones that get your blood pumping, the ones that you want to blast at full volume, the ones that are just so darn dramatic. The other is its eerie themes, cause rated E for everyone, right? But how often do we talk about its happy themes? Not often enough, I think. Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice bringing to you today a video of light-hearted proportions. As aforementioned, not just in this video, but pretty much any Zelda video I have that has something to do with Zelda music, this game series is like top dog when it comes to music. I don't care how much of a broken record I sound like, it's true and I'll happily repeat it again and again. And those who are quite familiar with the geekdom know my obsession with music and its importance to storytelling media. I have videos where I look into each one of my fandoms and tell you my favorite piece from each, the saddest theme from each, the most nostalgic piece, and so on and so forth, with more on the way. And as I was working on one of those, I got the idea to do happiest pieces of music, but not just for each of my fandoms. Particularly, I wanted to explore happy themes from The Legend of Zelda. Sure, Zelda is chock full of boisterous themes, creepy thematic pieces, extremely calm scores, but we seldom discuss the simply happy themes, probably due in part to their simplicity. So I've compiled a list of 10 themes from The Legend of Zelda that make me happy. Now, I did have to put some personal boundaries in place to avoid only picking nostalgic or adventurous themes. Because let's be honest, those themes do also make me happy, but not the kind of happy I'm discussing here. I'm thinking of the pieces that when you hear them, you just can't help but give a simple little smile. No adrenaline, just peaceful joy. Now, although I did say no nostalgia, I am 100% certain that childhood reminiscing will inevitably ebb its way onto this list. It's unavoidable, but I'm sure y'all understand. So with that, here is a list of 10 Zelda themes in kind of no particular order, save for the last 3, that make me happy. To be honest, I was never a fan of farms or ranches growing up. I like things very clean, and while there is something wholesome about the vibe of farm life, I couldn't deal with the dirt and smell. But growing up playing Ocarina of Time afforded me the opportunity to barely experience the joys of horses and the country feel via Lon Lon Ranch. For Zelda boasting usually either orchestral pieces or Celtic in origin themes, this country western piece of music is a shift, to be sure. Of course, Ocarina of Time had a diverse selection of music anyway. Focusing back on this one though, I can honestly picture myself vacationing at a countryside ranch, sitting on the porch with a good book and letting this piece play. It's a simple kind of happy, and it brings a gentle smile to my face. I've got to warn y'all now, there is a plethora of village themes on this list, which kind of makes sense when you think about it. Villages have this homey feel, and we typically associate home with happy, or the idealistic version of it, if you will. And even if I have never played the Minish Cap, I've heard this theme a lot while watching others play it, and it's just lovely. In a unique way, it fits both the town vibe and the vibe of this specific game itself. I'd say it's got a more innocent and charming happy feel to it. Whether it was the original Game Boy version, the Game Boy Color DX version, or the version for the Switch, Link's Awakening's Mabe Village theme is best described as sweet, in my opinion. Being another small village theme, it has that innocence to it which reminds me not really of a child, but closer to a toddler. I work with little girls as young as 2 years old, and the instrumentation used particularly in the Switch remake reminds me so much of my youngest baby ballerinas that I have the joy of teaching. I adore this happy theme oh so very much. Now this is a lively kind of happy. Back in the day, the Hyrule Castle town of Ocarina of Time seemed incredible. It was busy, active, had a variety of activities and characters. It makes me think of what I imagine some little village or town in Ireland or some other historical European country to be like. I could be totally off, but it's my fantasy. I can't deny that there's some nostalgia involved here, but that was bound to happen eventually. This theme certainly was a jubilant introduction to our first 3D Zelda castle town. Yet another village theme, Ordon Village from Twilight Princess, boasts a more warm or cozy type of happy. Its theme is arguably the most homey sounding, at least to me. Teaming up with the look of the village itself, as well as Link's beautiful history and story with this being his lifelong home, it exudes that concept of home sweet home. Definitely a stark contrast to the rest of the game, which only boasts its happy home vibe even further for me. Another theme from yet another Zelda game I have yet to play but will oh so soon. The Skyloft theme from Skyward Sword is possibly the most simple of these happy tunes. And I don't mean that in a negative way, not in the slightest. In fact, I believe its simplicity affords it the ability to be listened to for a long time without it slowly grinding your ears, which makes sense because from what I understand, you spend a long time in Skyloft before descending down below. Seeing as I haven't played the game myself as of the recording of this video, there's not much else I can add except to say I'd love to have this playing softly in the background of my life if I was perusing some sort of small village. Hope that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, the Windfall Island theme from the Wind Waker has a similar vibe to the Skyloft theme. What I believe is different about it and thus makes it stand out more is how busy it is. There's a lot of life in this theme and that reflects how alive this little island is too. Obviously nostalgia has a part in this, but moving aside from that, it's just a strong happy tune in and of itself. There are so many layers to this piece just as there are many stories at work harmonizing with one another on the island. I mean, this island holds quite a few side quests, so it does in fact make sense. This is now the third theme on this list that comes from a game I have yet to experience firsthand, the title screen theme from Spirit Tracks. Say what you will about this title, especially since I've never played it myself, but it has some stellar pieces of music. The way I would describe this theme is a hopeful kind of happy. I'm not sure how much sense that might make to y'all out there, but that's what comes to mind for me. Hope, looking to the future, bright. Either way, it's pretty crazy that a piece of music from a game I've not even played myself made it all the way to number 3 on this list. Where the Mabe Village theme reminded me more of a toddler kind of innocent, the Kokiri Forest theme from Ocarina of Time is a tad more mature in its sound. Considering it's literal children who live here, it would stand to reason that the music accompanying it would reflect such whimsy and innocence. This being one of my top 3 picks, I have to be completely transparent that yes, nostalgia took a heavier hand in this one. Considering I was a child myself when I began playing this game on my own, but was 3 when I first was introduced, it was the first one I thought of when making this list. It's childhood, a happy part of it. And of course, here are a few honorable mentions. Oops, I guess this theme had both nostalgia and adventure, 2 things I was trying to avoid, seep into it being picked. Well, it's my list and I do what I want, right? More seriously, however, the title screen theme for The Wind Waker isn't as much adventure as much as it is the anticipation of one. Pack that into nostalgia, the Celtic vibes, and you've got my favorite happy piece of music from the entire Legend of Zelda series. Now, does this mean that when I do my happiest pieces from every single one of my fandoms video that this will automatically be my Zelda pick? Logic would dictate so, but I fluctuate. For the time being, however, yes, this piece of beautiful music is my happiest Zelda theme. All in all, while most of these pieces may not be the most well-known or the first to come to mind when thinking about Zelda music, they are incredibly integral to the stories and worlds within the Zelda games. For every massive overworld theme, we need that homey village tune. For every majestic and orchestral battle score, we need a simple town piece. All equally brilliant and each has their place. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to comment below which pieces from The Legend of Zelda make you happy. And if you did enjoy this video, maybe consider checking out some of my other content and joining the geekdom by subscribing as we make our way slowly but surely to maybe 10,000 by the end of this year. That would be crazy. And a massive thank you to the Fellowship of the Geekdom over on Patreon, especially those in the highly end tiers such as Code and Data and Joking Batman. But anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for watching.